So we had a really good half, played a really good second half, and just like how we came out, after they closed the gap and got it to even at the half, and we defensively I thought were really good the first 10 minutes. Just were able to consistently get stops and played solid basketball on the offensive end. We had good balance on the offensive end. Our shooting numbers were strong again tonight, so happy about that. The only negative really was a little bit loose with the basketball. It's kind of uncharacteristic of our team. We're usually a very low turnover team. We had too many tonight, but outside of that, very happy with our performance.
I know you said earlier in the week that some players are going to have to make sacrifices as far as not being in the starting lineup. Miller, Utah, Neal tonight. How gratifying is it just to see those players really answer the call from the bench?
Yeah, I mean, Jamiya is one of our best players, and he's he had a great attitude about it, knowing that that's what like a winning player will do. If an ace, when I did it with him, he had a really nasty streak about him going into Utah. So I'm not sure who it'll be on Saturday, but I'll have a couple of days to decide that. But it's that's just how we have to go about it, and both of those guys handled it very well.
Is there a message to that, to the group? Just some of our best players are still coming off the bench, and it's more about us versus the individual?
Not sure how internally the guys would talk about that, but I think I was able to communicate to Jamiya that, like, possibly once you go in the game, you're most likely never coming out again in the half. So to play maybe with that type of freedom, to know that he could go out there and play basketball and not have to look over his shoulder about whether he was coming back out of the game or not. That's just kind of what I said to him, and it was going to be very similar with Adam.
How about the difference in rebounding? You got out-rebounded by them by 20, I think, up there, and it's the second game in a row you out-rebounded somebody.
We were not quick to the ball at their place. They were getting to the 50-50s. They were getting long rebounds. They hurt us on the glass for sure at their place, and we talked about that this week coming into the game. And I think it's, again, we're shooting great. We had 30 made field goals in tonight's game. So when again, what I was saying the last time, making shots like that, it gives you a better chance to hang in on the backboard.
You were able to shut down Jordan Pope a little bit better this time around. What were the adjustments that you made going into him?
Coach Kimbrough did a great job of just putting together a defensive game plan for him. We wanted to kind of string out a lot of his zoom actions, dribble handoffs, and whenever he was a ball screen, either hedge him or in some cases switch. Wanted to make him try and finish at the basket, not size us up for jump shots off the dribble.
Coach, what were the points of emphasis at halftime after Pope hit the step back three to tie it? You guys came back, kind of looked a little bit different. What did you talk about at half?
We just talked about stepping up our level of play. We started out, I think, 15-6, and then we stopped guarding at the level that we needed to, through some of the stretches of the first half. So just getting back to defending, and I thought we responded well the first several minutes of the second half.
Coach, when you have Frankie, Jamiya, Adam, Jose all scoring 14 points in a game, how do you feel that raises your ceiling?
It just, if we're able to score as many points as we did tonight, I think that puts us in a comfortable range to have a really good chance to win. And so if we can score like we did in Utah and tonight, then I think the way we're able to get effort we give on the defensive end, that we would have a chance to win.
I feel like he's heating up a little bit over the last few games. What have you seen from his game to kind of improve?
He's very good on defense. I mean, he had the steal late that he got a deflection right in front of our bench, and he was the only guy pressing at that point, and immediately dove on the floor and got it and went and finished. Those are the type of effort plays that we need. And he's off the offensive end. He seems to be in a very good rhythm. He's getting drives to the basket where he can finish, and he's also shooting the three better lately.
How do you ensure that this kind of performance now translates to the road in a hostile environment for USC Saturday?
I mean, there's no guarantees. You gotta feel good about how you're playing right now, but this is an enormous challenge in front of us on Saturday against a team that rarely loses on their home floor and is a number 1 seed right now in the NCAA tournament. So it's we have our work cut out for us on Saturday, that's for sure.
How important was it to string together a couple of wins going into that game, just from a confidence standpoint?
I mean, it helps. I was very nervous about tonight's game because there's a tendency to overlook your opponent, even though they beat us pretty soundly on their home court. It's just this is the Arizona game week, and guys are thinking maybe past this game. So I'm happy that we were able to deliver a good performance in the second half. We got to play better in both halves when you're playing teams like Arizona, though. You can't afford to. We'd have to cut our turnovers by in half. From 15 to like single digits. We can't allow a team like that to get live ball turnovers and get out in the open court with that crowd and their talent, at the offensive end of the floor.
That aspect of turnovers, there's a little sequence in that early first half where you got a little bit ahead of yourselves with some of those transition plays. Were there any conversations about that as far as like slowing that up in those moments and not getting too ahead of yourselves?
Just we're better. We generally take care of the ball. We have to do a better job of valuing the ball. And at halftime we discussed that because we usually are the team that creates the turnovers. And in the first half, Adam stole the ball late in the half, and that was our only forced turnover. They had 1 turnover at halftime. We had 9, so we have to do a better job with that.
With the back-to-back wins, with averaging 82 points per game, what do you like about the group's offensive process right now?
That we're getting good balance, and it's not just one guy. It's been multiple guys in both games. It's been Jose, it's been Jamiya, Adam, Frankie, and then we get a couple of these other guys going. Sean and Brian and Zoe. I think Kamari. We got enough firepower if we're playing to the level that we're capable.
And then obviously you mentioned Jamiya coming off the bench tonight, Adam the other night, but with who you're able to play now and guys getting healthier, how much do you feel, especially tonight in the second half, but just in general, how that helps you on the defensive end?
It does. It takes some pressure off the guards, and when you have Sean in there, Sean had a really good stretch in the second half where he got a bunch of rebounds, and he's a presence around the basket. We had a couple of lobs to him, so he's just gives us a different look that we don't have if he's not out on the floor.
A couple more. You mentioned that making shots has really helped your rebounding numbers, but how much of a difference has the lineup changes had for the rebounding in that sense?
I'm sure it certainly helps. It puts bigger bodies on the floor. Physically, we match up a little more traditional to our opponent, and we have good rebounders at the guard positions, and so now with Sean and Brian, their ability to rebound, it helps in that regard.
Coach, how great Jamiya was coming off the bench, is that something you think will remain going forward?
No, Jamiya's gonna start on Saturday for sure, and I'll decide in the next 48 hours who's next man up for coming off the bench.
Coach, you're talking about Jamiya's effort. Do you think effort is something you can coach, or is it really just guy to guy?
I mean, you could try and instill the proper habits and encourage your players to do it, but a lot of it is based on your makeup and your will and your determination to do it. Jamiya's got great physical tools, very athletic. Frankie is in the same mold, very instinctive, very gifted athletically. And so at those two positions, those guys, and then Adam plays with just like a real toughness, like how he guards and his intentions. So it's nice when you have a perimeter like that, where they want to get after it defensively.
Does anything change with the mindset coming off the bench, and what do you think contributed to you having such a good performance?
As you all know, I came off the bench for about 60 games or so it was kind of natural for me. And as far as just the transition to come off the bench this game, I trust Coach Hurley, and I know he has my best intentions at heart. So whatever he tells me to do, I'm going to go do it. And I know that he's not doing it out of ill intentions or ill thoughts, and I know he wants what's best for me. So I just followed his lead and just came off the bench and did what I had to do.
What worked for you tonight?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like tonight a couple shots was falling. I feel like in a couple games I was close to, breaking that 20-point barrier, but I just keep getting 17, 18, 19s. Even tonight I missed some free throws I shouldn't have missed, so I think it's just trying to be consistent and do what works every game.
collectively for the team, what changed as far as the defensive end in the beginning of the second half?
Effort, just going over the things that worked in the first half and the things that didn't work. Obviously, we had to stop Bilodeau. He was killing us in the first half, and we know that they don't have a lot of ball handlers, so we had to pressure them.
You guys have 4 guys shooting as efficient as they were tonight. Does that really space the floor to help more guys get creative, I guess?
For sure, we're an athletic team, and we all can get downhill, we all can score, we all can get down there and kick. So when we're knocking down shots, it makes it easier for everybody to drive, kick, or drive and score.
When Sean's down, like playing like that down low, I mean, looking for dunks, what does it do for you guys? I mean, obviously offensively it's great, but on both ends of the court.
The first game against them, Sean had a lot of success in the paint, so we knew we could exploit that again. So tonight we were just trying to find him and make sure he get those same touches, the same dunks again. And obviously he's very athletic, and when he gets it down there, it's hard to stop him.
A lot of different scores in double digits for you guys tonight. What do you think is the difference in being able to get everyone involved in the scoring column game to game?
The 4 players who had the double-digit points, it was me, Jose, Ace, and Frankie. I mean, we all average double digits, so I feel like tonight we just had a game rolling, and we just got to keep that going. I think we all go out there and know that we're all capable of going for 20 any given night, but we have to get each other involved, and tonight we just did a good job of it.
How important was it to stack a couple wins together before this big game on Saturday, just from a confidence standpoint?
Very big, because we need that confidence. Nobody wants to go into a game like that, an atmosphere like that, against your rival off 1 or 2 losses. So just getting those 2 wins and being able to go in there kind of comfortable and kind of a little more laid back is everything.
Kind of saw last year how hostile it can get in that arena in Arizona. How do you tell all these new guys what to prepare for on Saturday?
Honestly, I can't even, words can't even describe it. It's just, you'll know once you're in the game, once you feel it. As soon as you walk in the gym, the fans are already going to be there. The whole student section is going to be right there yelling at you. If they dunk, if they score, you're not going to be able to hear anything. If you guys score, it's going to get quiet. So I think everybody's been in a rival game. It's just going to be at a different volume.
Do you have a favorite aspect of your own offensive development so far in these 3 years?
I'll probably say just get back to my mid-range game. I like that I'm trying to be more than just a catch-and-shoot guy or get to the basket, but just trying to be a 3 to 4 level scorer, be able to catch and shoot, mid-range, post-game, and get into the basket, obviously. So just being able to add that mid-game, I think that's one of my best developments offensively.
Jamiya, Coach Hurley talked about your effort this game and how important it was. Is that something you think is contagious to the rest of the team?
Yeah, as a leader of this team, sometimes you gotta go out there and do the things that other people don't want to do or they're not doing at the time. If I see the team's kind of getting down or something, maybe I gotta go out there and try to hustle and try to set the tone, because I know if I set the bar up here, they're not gonna drop any lower. They're gonna exceed that.
How do you feel about your performance tonight, Adam?
I think I played good, efficient. Yeah, I think I played good, efficient, hard on defense. I think I had a steal in there. I had too many turnovers. I think my teammates did a good job of finding me. Just try to go out there and play hard.
These last couple of games, what have been the main things that have allowed you guys to be more efficient?
I think just focus and maturity. Just understanding that we're here to do a job at the end of the day. And I think we've locked in and practiced a little bit more. When you get to the point in the season like this, coach has to make decisions. We have to make decisions, and you're either gonna crumble or you're gonna stand up and play like a man. And I think we just stood up and played harder. I mean, we lost that game to Colorado. We came out very, very slow, but within that game, we played a better game also, even that game we lost. So it helped us in the next game. So just continuing to play hard will help us down the line.
What do you think changed between the first half and the second half of this game?
I think we were pretty locked in the whole game. The end of the first half, we had them down 15-6. We could have put our foot down right there, but we didn't. But I think that we just did a better job today of having a hold of the game and not allowing them to, cutting off their runs. I think that we did a good job of that. And yeah, we did enough of it, and we kept our lead, and we had a pretty good advantage in the end.
Your first
Coach-
instance of going down to Arizona this weekend, what do you expect out of be your first experience in this rivalry?
I really don't know. I've heard about it a little bit. I heard how serious it is, but for me, it's just a big game, and I know it's a big game for coach and the team, so I'm gonna go play my hardest, honestly. You know, it's a little bit more bigger, I know, for everyone around here, so I'm gonna try to play hard.
Coach has made some lineup changes. You came off the bench one game, Jose. It was Jamiya today. Can you kind of talk about the mindset of maybe guys being unselfish and just realizing coach is going to do what's best for the team?
Yeah, like I said, coach made adjustments, and I feel like kind of let everybody know that, you know, you're either going to fold or you're going to keep playing. And, you know, when it was my time to come off the bench, I was just like, this is a wake-up call for me to, you know, either I'm going to fold or I'm going to stand up and keep playing like a man. And that's what I think that everybody kind of did. You know, I think, Jamiya came off the bench today, but he had, 23 points or something like that. Came in, was ready, and, you know, we've been playing good since it happened. So, you know, I think it was a good adjustment.
Coach just talked about your toughness, you know, how tough of a guy you are. Where does that stem from, and how important is it to your game?
I think it just stems from where I come from and the people I've been around. I think I'm a product of my environment, and I think it starts with, like I said, the people around me, like my mother, my family. They never let me give up, and I've always been in a lot of tough situations in my life, and I think it just allowed me to come to college, and this is kind of, you know, college is tough, but compared to everything else, it's not that bad.
And then when you look at, you said you coming off the bench or Jamiya, but going forward, I mean, teams playing matchups, how much do you feel that will help you guys even more on the defensive end of the court?
I think it'll help. Like, we had Big Sean in the lineup, and that helped out a lot. Try to get his wind going so he can play for as long as he can, keep him out of foul trouble. But it's just giving teams different looks, and it's kind of, you know, coach wanted to spark some and see if he can come up with some, and it kind of worked. You know, we're on a two-game win streak now, and hopefully we want to make it 3 on Saturday.
The 17 assists is close to a season high for you guys. How important is it to get that ball movement for the offense to work?
I talked to the team about that today in the huddle. I was like, when we take good shots and move the ball and play quality basketball, that's when we're the best. We have our funnest. And when we have games like that, it translates on the court. You can see it in our body language. You can see it in the bench. We start to make more shots when we take better shots. You know, we got to take our one-on-one advantages. That's where we're strong. But I think when we move the ball and get the dominoes falling and start switching sides, it's higher quality shots and better percentages, and you got to play with that.
When players see the success that comes from that, does it make it easier to continue playing that way?
Yeah, you know, everybody, you know, like I said, it was hard for us to gel because we didn't have our whole team the whole year. So, you know, now you can kind of see it like, this is what we have to do to win. You know, when you play great teams, you're gonna have to do those things because great teams do those things. So, you gotta move the ball, let everybody get a feel, and like I said, that's kind of what we did tonight. That's why we had fun.
You and Coach Hurley both talked about limiting turnovers as far as your guys' end and being able to force more defensively like you guys have done the majority of the year. How do you make those adjustments moving into Arizona?
Just locking in, just focus. The reads will be there. If you put yourself in good positions, you'll make easy reads. Practice, go and practice 100%. I mean, full speed. It's all just comes from practice and trusting your work. We've all made those reads that we need to make in games. We've ran these sets plenty of times, maybe too many times, but just practice and trusting your work.
The team's been shooting better from 3 lately. Is it that taking better shots, or is it more of that focus and maturity that you mentioned before?
Both. I think taking better shots. When you take better shots, you get a better rhythm. Taking better shots means you're probably swinging the ball a little bit more too. So, you know what I'm saying? Just moving the ball and continuing, you know, me as a leader, continuing to express it. Because, you know, we got a lot of guys who can get hot quick. So the more we move it, the better we are.
Being one of the guys in the squad, you've probably had some of the most experience in big games and loud crowds, loud arenas. What role does emotion play in these games? Is it something that you use to your advantage, or is it something that you try to kind of put behind you?
Both. I think that You know, when you catch a run, you gotta hold on to those runs in these games. Whoever punches the other team in the mouth first will have, you know, a good feel for the game. Because sometimes you can put teams out in that first 5 minutes. I've seen it done. It's happened to us. But you know, most of the time, teams punch back, and whoever can stay up the longest and keep their head on and you know, roll with the punches the most is gonna have the best chance of winning.
What do you think about Brian Salabange's skin fade?
His skin fade?
You were talking about that.
We was talking about his haircut before the game. I'm not gonna blast him on here, but it's cool. We won. He found me for a 3, so me and him be having a 2-game going on in the game. So that's my partner. I ain't gonna do him like that.
Who's got the
Was
best
it cool?
hair on the team?
Who's got the best hair?
Yeah.
Me.
Why is that?
Blonde hair, don't care.
Was it cool seeing Bryant get out on that fast break too?
Say that again.
Was it cool seeing Bryant get out on that fast break and
Of
get the
course,
dunk?
man, it was funny. Coach Kimbrough was tapping me the whole time. I'm like, what is going on? He's tapping me and laughing the whole time. I was like, this is the first time I've seen him laughing in a game because most time he's mad, you know, 'cause he's mad any other time. But at that point in time, he was kind of laughing. So I think when he did that, it kind of lifted me up a little bit too to see someone who's usually always so serious kind of laughing. So you know, we don't do that without Bryant getting out and fixing his feet, trying to get that dunk on that run.
You guys outscored them 23-4 on fast break points. How much does that speak into the team's effort and hustle?
Speaks a lot into our effort, but at the end of the day, that's our game. That's who we are. I mean, I think most of our games in here in transition is when we get the crowd rocking. It's when we gain leads, and it's a really big part of our game. And it starts with stops. It starts with defense. Like I try to echo on defense as much as possible. We got to get stops, because without stops, when the ball goes through the net, now you got to take it out, and whoever's upset about whoever scored, but you know, you get stops, you get steals, you get points, and at least the leads.